Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So there's been a lot of talk I've seen periodically, especially in the comments, about UFOs and the shape of UFOs and why they're probably shaped, saucer shaped, or maybe even, shaped like a ball or a cylinder or something like that. So I wanted to briefly touch up on this subject just a little bit now. I'm not saying I'm a subject expert on this or anything like that. I think that all of us, unless we've actually worked on these projects, can only comment on what we know from other people that have either worked on these craft and then came out and disclosed some of this information, or sometimes we may call them whistleblowers. But we all know that throughout time, especially during the 50s and 60s, the government tried to create particular craft that were disc shaped, but we knew they probably weren't going to work. Like this one you see here, there's no way this is going to fly and be that stable just because of the way it was constructed. And then also we know that later on that we have ARVs, which are alien reproduction vehicles, and I have a whole video coming out very soon talking about those. And that's basically alien craft that have been reverse engineered with materials that are down here or created from this earth with that. But then we also know that there's particular other craft, like this could be the TR-3B, that's triangular in shape that actually flies fast too. We don't know the exact speed of it and stuff, but it's going to be questions on why this can fly like it does, and then also the disc-shaped craft can't or can. And then there's also Bob Lazar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a snippet from Bob Lazar where he actually talked about these particular craft and why they fly like they fly, because of the distortion field that's actually created around the craft. So let me go ahead and let me let this play, and then I'll be back in just a second.
As the intensity of the gravitational field around the disk increases, the distortion of space-time around the disk also increases. And if you could see the space-time distortion, this is how it would look. As you can see, as the output of the gravitational field from the amplifiers becomes more intense, the form of space-time around the disk not only bends upward, but at maximum distortion actually folds over into almost a heart shape around the top of the disk. Now remember, this space-time distortion is taking place 360 degrees around the disk. So if you were looking at the disk from the top, the space-time distortion would be in the shape of a donut. When the gravitational field around the disk is so intense that the space-time distortion around the disk achieves maximum distortion and is folded up into this heart-shaped form, the disk can't be seen from any vantage point, and for all practical purposes is invisible. All you could see would be the sky surrounding it.
So there you have it, coming from the man himself, how he talks about a distortion field being created around these craft. I thought it was pretty interesting how he said that the field could be so strong that it actually be somewhat transparent or invisible, that you wouldn't be able to see it and blend with whatever background is behind it. But I think that's pretty interesting. So I do have a video coming up that's going to talk about ARVs, alien reproduction vehicles, versus the sport model, because there are huge differences between the two and actually the way they're constructed and the way they actually fly. Now those ARVs that I'm going to discuss in the video are going to be a little bit older, but this video's main purpose was to talk about the saucer shaped craft and some of the distortion and how it possibly works, based off of someone who actually worked on them, who was a whistleblower, and I personally do believe Bob, and talked about the distortion field around them and why they fly like they fly. So I thought that was pretty interesting there with that. So as always, I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this. There's a lot more information to this, but I at least wanted to touch on the subject of this somewhat. And I'll be doing a more in-depth video a little bit later on, but I'm going to get that ARV video out first, and then I'll do the sport model, then I'll do a comparisons between the two, and then talk about other inventors as well that have created stuff or had patent pennies out there. So as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this with your friends, put your comments down below, and stay tuned for the next video. I appreciate you guys watching.
You